and you have to take it very lightly, beta. This is a part of your life. Just take this as a part of your life. Okay. And this is just the very first step that you are going to take. So be very calm. When I say be very calm, in your life itself, not in this particular exam. So you should always have positive feelings at this juncture of time, because during your course of study for the past 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, there might be some phases where you might get disturbed. You might get low marks and you might get disturbed. But this time you have to be very positive, because everything we human beings gain from our mistakes. So each and every point in your life, in your phase, you should always feel that I have gained something. So if you feel positive, what will happen? Even if you are not able to solve some particular section or some particular question in the examination, it will not much affect your intuition at that time to solve further. Because what generally happens, if we have that fear of feeling, okay, we are always feared, okay, if I'm not able to do this, what will happen? That should not come into your mind at all. So try to build in these 2 days, always try to think in a positive direction, that yes, I will become this, I will become a software developer, or whatever is your name. Okay, I will go to NASA, I will do research work, whatever you wish to attain in your life. Have positive feelings, and always remember, even if not only selection, I'm telling you, are not able to crack JEE, it is not the end, because there are many examples in the world, those who are leading by example, leading the industries of your choice by example. So have motivation from them and take this as a very first step, and in a very positive manner, in a very simple manner. This is the first thing which I would like to tell you about. One by one, we will analyze. This is going to be a non-academic session, but this is going to be very important on that day. Okay, so first step, the time duration. I am not going to change your time duration of subject that you are following for so long. I'm not going to change that. But at the same time, if you do not do justice to any single subject, that is going to affect your rank and sometimes your selection also. So make sure that you give a bare minimum ample time to all. And what is that? What is that? So generally, how much time you devote? Like I say, in physics, in chemistry, in mathematics. And believe me, all your previous toppers, including Shishir and Gyan Mahesh, last year India ranked 1 and 10, we have followed the same process. Okay, so there are no exception for this. This I am writing just as an average time, just as an average time. It is not like you have to devote this much only, but just to keep in your mind that you cannot be too much here and there from this duration. So basically keep in mind, then 55 to 65 minutes, you should complete your physics section, 55 to 65, not beyond that. Similarly for chemistry, you should be able to finish it between 40 to 50 minutes. This I want you to write, please. And only this thing you have to keep in mind, okay? Nothing else. And mathematics, 70 to 80. Because beta, sometimes what will happen during the course of your attempting the question paper in the examination hall, suppose you're attempting, say, chemistry, and some 1 or 2 problems you got stuck, and you have seen that it has passed 1 hour for chemistry only, or for physics, you have taken 80 minutes. So ultimately, it is going to suffer your mathematics. So time management is the key. Time management you have to follow. This is the first step. So in mathematics, you should not devote less than 70 minutes or more than 80, chemistry less than 40. Just keep a track of your watch. Okay. And number 2, I want to tell you how to attempt these sections. Sometimes, which always everyone say that we must attempt easier questions first. Yes, 100% we must attempt those. But we should not switch the subjects too often. Am I clear what I'm saying? हमें switching नहीं करना है. मतलब ऐसा नहीं करना है, you are attempting physics, then you go to chemistry, then came back to maths, then physics. This to and fro motion should not be there. This should only be once. That means if you are attempting physics, or let us say, I take care of maths, you are attempting mathematics paper, and you are devoting 75 minutes. So here itself, you take 2 rounds. Beta, mind it very carefully. Here itself, you take 2 rounds. Suppose first round, you can take 45 minutes. This is very easy problem. When I say easy in advance, obviously easy won't matter, less time consuming. And second round, 30 minutes. Don't keep too much track of your watch. This is just in your mind. Just keep seeing your watch only in 15-20 minutes, not every time. So when I say that you are taking 2 rounds, so first round, let us say 45 minutes, 30 minutes, this does not matter. Even if you have taken first round for, let us say 50 minutes, then it is a success. Because first round is going to decide even your selection as well as your rank. You are attempting only easier problems. Okay, phase by phase, I want to tell you. Suppose you have done with, and second round is those problems which you seem are challenging to you. For the first time, you are watching that question in front of your screen. So that is your second round. There might be some 2-3 problems which may remain unattempted. That is okay. Does not matter. So like that, you have to go in mathematics or in physics or in chemistry. That means what is the key for the second part? 2 rounds. 2 rounds per subject, and no switching inter-subject, no switching. Second point is clear. We will quickly go through. There are only 7 or 8 points. अब तीसरा point क्या है? Type of questions आपको कौन से पहले attempt करने? Type of questions. First of all, it is never known before the examination what is the pattern of question. JEE only states in advance that 3 hours duration and equal weightage is given to all the subject in terms of marks. So, but still, for the past 10 years, there are only 5 type of questions that are being asked, which are single objective type, then integer type, okay, multiple objective type, match matrix in general, and comprehension. Now, this is again very, very important. All the 8 points that I am going to take, please pay attention and follow that. अब इसमें generally क्या होता है? First of all, suppose you have a paper in front of you. Maximum number of questions in the past 8 years that we have seen, maximum weightage is coming from MOT. 1 or more than 1 correct. Please remember what I'm saying. Maximum percentage of questions are coming from this, but we will attempt this in the last. Last does not mean that we are giving this less importance. In fact, we are giving it more importance because this is kept at last. We have ample time. Always we will attempt this at last. Now, to begin with, your first question should start from integer type or SOT. This could be as per your choice. But if you ask me, personally, I prefer integer type. This is your first. In preference order, I'm writing better. 1 and 2, you can take your own call. That does not matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a reason for that. I will just explain this. Integer type questions are very straightforward. Though you do not know the answer, but they are very straightforward. They are not many times multiple concepts involved. Like suppose they ask this question from, let us say, counting, permutation, combination, anything. So they will have a simple approach for that. Generally, integer type of problems are straightforward. But what is the advantage in SOT, single objective type? You have the options in front of you. You feel more confident once you get the answer, and you also watch it on your screen. You feel more confident. That is why I pay equal weightage to them, but IT first preference is given. So suppose 10 integer types are there or 8 integer types are there. You attempt only 2 or 3 or 4 of that subject, but attempt it very fast. Attempt it very fast, I mean. Okay. Before just marking that, just go through your calculation once more, but solve it very fast. Solve it very fast. Go through slowly. Just check it once more, rather than attempting it very slow and then not checking it. Okay. So for easy question, IT, you have to solve it fast, but again, verify so that you have not done any mistake, just to make sure. Okay. After that, SOT, single objective, correct? No problem in that. Generally, negative marking is not there in SOT. Therefore, read the instructions very carefully. Every time they've slightly changed the marking scheme, read the instructions very carefully. Before opening the paper, very carefully, you should read the instructions. Is it clear? Read the instructions very carefully. So as I said, integer type, then single objective type. Now why third match matrix? In match matrix, sometimes you do not have to solve all the 4 parts that you might be knowing, right? Sometimes you have to only solve two, and at most 3, never 4 in the past 6-7 years. So this has an added advantage. And again, matrix match problem are not multi-conceptual problems. They are also straightforward. Is that clear? After that, comprehension. Comprehension, generally, whatever information is given, all the subsequent parts will follow. So in this, if you devote a good quantity of time, you will be able to crack all of them. Multiple correct. Please do not do any guesswork. Please do not do any guesswork, because sometimes there are 50% negative marking, and partial marks, you should gain partial marks from this. These partial marks are going to decide your rank. If you are not sure, I request you, please do not attempt that. Last year, Shishir attempted 348 marks paper out of 360. कितना अटेम्प्ट किया था? 348. कितना आया था उसको फाइनली? How much did he score? 314. Yes, that means 34 marks. He also did mistake. His strongest point was his speed. He used to solve the problems at a very high pace, which was unmatched. That was to his advantage. But again, he should have got 340. So when I discussed the paper with him, so he was like, sir, I have done so many mistakes, but we were confident because his attempt was high, even but 34 marks. So that is not acceptable. So for you guys also, I'm telling, because there are negative marking, partial marks you have to gain. If you know that only A is correct, please mark it. Don't take any risk. So how to attempt these papers? Part 3 is clear to all. Part 3. Now, see, attempting the question paper is done. Now, 1 or 2 things I want to focus. Number 4. First hour decides our rank. देखो इसका अर्थ समझते हैं. Paper is not of 3 hours. It is only of first hour. 1 hour. होता क्या है? If first hour में अगर आपका mind deviate हो गया, you start taking stress because of some or other reason, then you cannot come back. Please write this on your notebook. First hour के बाद आप come back नहीं कर सकते हैं, because for comeback you require at least 2 more hours, and after that duration paper will get over. You will get tensed. That means it is your responsibility that in the first hour you should pick only those problems you are very, very confident. Your morale will be very high. Please mind it. These are very important steps that you have to follow. So first hour you have to be like you have solved everything. First hour there should be no mistake. There should be no problem that you are not able to do, because you will only pick those problems that you can solve. And obviously when I say first hour, like in mathematics, suppose you have devoted, so obviously first 45 minutes or first round of that paper. Or chemistry you have taken, so first 30 minutes of that. Some topics that extra they have added, especially in mathematics, I want to tell you, like this year they have included statistics. So they will ask simple questions based on expectation, based on variance, based on standard deviation. So always try to follow the simple probabilistic approach in statistics, okay, rather than the vague calculations. Because strictly speaking, their motive is not to check your calculation part. It is to check your logic only, and it is an integral part of higher mathematics also. That is why they have included statistics. So just pay more attention on the probabilistic approach. When I say probabilistic approach, that means logical approach. But make sure you always keep watching your error booklet. See, beta, we are human beings. To err is human. We will do mistake. As I told you, Shishir attempted 348 paper, but got 314. Got 314. He also did the mistake. So nobody can tell you that you won't commit any mistake. You are bound to commit mistake. But if you always watch it more often, then it is less likely to occur. because you will know yourself that I generally commit this type of mistake. So if I watch it, I will know. Okay. So in these 2 days, please pay attention the type of errors that you have committed. You please go through it. Only error. Okay, I am doing this, I am doing this. And no error of one student can help the other student. This is purely personal. This is purely personal. This is the reflection of yourself. Okay? Correct. Point number 7. Point number 7. Is this okay? Now, what to do in the examination? Suppose sometimes what might happen? Stress might come. Stress might come during the examination. Okay. And in these 2 days also, I will tell you the technique before. That means on Friday, on Saturday. Okay. And you can start from today only. During the exam, in these 2 days, in these 2 days, what you must do, only chant hum, only chant hum and whom. Only chant hum and whom. See, this has very positive and very strong results. Please mind it, this is very strong results. So you can simply chant only 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and before you go to sleep. This is for these 2 days. That is very rejuvenating for your mind. And in the examination hall, if you get any stress, you just have to take 3 deep breaths. Don't panic at all. It is bound to come. And always go in the frame of mind that you are going to get stress at that time. You will feel more confident to handle that. Take just deep breaths, 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes. When I say take 3 deep breaths, that means you should devote your 1 minute. Give 1 minute to God. Before going to the examination hall, take blessings of your parents. Take blessings of your teachers. Pray to Almighty. Pray to Almighty that please, I want success in my life. I want to do good to others. Only positive feelings. Don't ask anything about paper because this is not the end. That means to just have you more confident to tackle that situation before going to the exam. Is it clear? 2 more things I want to focus. 1 or 2 things you must remember. Like suppose in coordinate geometry, especially it's just one academic thing I want to tell you, because this year they might ask this type of problem. Suppose this is a straight line and there are many lines which can be drawn to this passing through a fixed point A comma B. You might have attempted these problems. What is that line which has the minimum area? Do you remember the direct result? Suppose point they have given as 2, 4. With the coordinate axis, what is that line which makes the minimum area? Directly, you should remember this result. Tell me what is that line? That line is when A comma B is the midpoint. When this is the midpoint, then this area is always minimum. Always minimum. That means if it is the midpoint, what is this going to be? 2A comma 0, 0 comma 2B. What is the area? Half 2A into 2B, 2AB is the area. So suppose point they have given is 2, 4. So how many lines will be possible which make an area of 2AB? That means 16 square units. How many lines will be possible which make an area of 16 square units? 3 lines will be possible. Why 3? Because 1 will be in this quadrant, because that will correspond to the minimum. Second has to lie in the second quadrant. See here like this. Because this is a purely increasing function. If I draw all the lines from A comma B, there will be one particular line which will make area of 16. Likewise, 1 will always occur in the 4th quadrant in this way. Are you able to follow this? So someone asks you how many lines of 16 square units area? So there will be 3 with the coordinate axis. How many lines of 14 square units area? 14 square units area?
2, sir.
2. Yes, 2. Because in 2nd and 4th, each and every area will come. And how many lines of 24 square units area? 24 square units area?
4.
There will be 4, yes. Because in first quadrant, if you do it vertical, it will be 24. And like this also, it will be 24 because 16 is the minimum. Correct? So just keep this question or these types of properties in parabola, ellipse, hyperbola in mind. Okay? So these were some of the points that I have discussed with you. And again, I just want to remind you whatever we have discussed in a minute. Okay. So first is the time duration. That is of utmost importance to you. 60 minutes, 45 minutes, 75 minutes. Each subject, 2 rounds. First round, easier questions, which are less lengthy. And second round, challenging questions. You have to skip some questions also. No need to attempt all. I always give the example of Shishir and Gyan Mahesh because that has happened to them. So it is bound to happen to you also. Okay. Third is the type of questions. So integer type, SOT, MOT, like this. Then first hour is very, very important, most important. Statistics question will come. It will be very easy to handle. Please apply probabilistic approach. Go through the error booklet. Okay. And in the examination, please take 3 deep breaths and chant hum and hum in these 2 days. Take blessings of your parents and your mentors. I would like to wish you all the best, and I believe you will come with flying colors in that examination. All the best to you. All the best, beta. Take care.